Our International Affairs editor, Philip Tell, speaking to me a little earlier. Well, let's get some more analysis. We can speak to Jeremy Ghez, who is Professor of International Affairs and Economics at the HEC Business School here in Paris. Thank you so much for joining us, Professor. Has this spat now been fixed? Did the phone call fix it, do you think?
Well, it seems at the very least that we're making progress. The joint statement seems like, at least in disguise, an apology on the part of Joe Biden. What's interesting as well is that there seems to be a few recognitions, including the need for better consultation, the need for a stronger European defense. But I kind of feel there's still a wide range of open questions tonight. If President Biden recognizes that France is indeed a player like Paris would like to be recognized in the Indo-Pacific region, how will that translate concretely? And even more broadly, President Macron told us about 2 years ago, before the whole pandemic, that he considered NATO to be brain dead. What is the alternative? And what is the architecture of European defense, or any substitute for that matter? What is crystal clear is that if he wants that strategic autonomy to be built against the United States, he will alienate a lot of the European allies he has in the East, who still consider Washington as their key ally to fight Russia and to protect them from Russia. So you see, there's still a lot of open questions beyond this reconciliation or seeming reconciliation.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people will be saying, this is the whole point of having embassies, the whole point of having diplomats is to put out fires before they start and to anticipate problems before they become problems. What's your take? I mean, why do you think and how do you think France was overlooked in quite such a humiliating way?
I mean, look, it's a wake-up call. I don't think this is about the money. I don't think this was about the contract. I think that at the end of the day, in Australia, when you see the nature and the context change compared to 2015, when the initial deal was signed, the context has changed and China is the real threat. And when you are Australia, you go knocking on Washington's door rather than on Brussels' door. So this is a real wake-up call for France. I think France was genuinely upset. French authorities were genuinely upset. You never recall the ambassador, especially the one you have in a very close, in Washington, very close ally. It's a very grave decision, a very rare decision. So I think it wanted to convey the message that it was extremely furious. But again, I think there are plenty of questions open tonight. And I think that what France is trying to do is maintain a very delicate balance, especially as Macron probably has a window of opportunity that opens up. With Merkel's departure, he may want to step up as the natural leader of Europe, but there are many, many conflicting interests inside Europe that he will need to account for.
And of course, we're 7 months away from a presidential election here in France. I'm just wondering how you think all of this plays out with the domestic audience in France. And do you think this is likely to have any blowback or fallout for the French president? Or would you say the French population has been largely understanding of the president, that he's handled this very skillfully, and this will therefore bolster and boost his chances ahead of the election? Which one of those schools of thought do you buy into?
It's a very interesting question. I don't know if I have a very satisfactory answer because I'm tempted to say time will tell. Initially, it kind of seems that the whole political class has sided with President Macron. It seems that many people have been offended with the way this has happened. And I think that most likely people tend to approve this upset. I mean, this approach that President Macron has taken that resonates a lot with what you saw from President Chirac in the past and perhaps even President de Gaulle. In my opinion, I really tend to think that this is a foreign policy issue that is of interest to many people. Many people are interested in the foreign policy and the strategy of France in the long run. I tend to think that in the presidential election, this will play a very modest role compared to the state of the economy, to the state of the pandemic in France, and the related restrictions.
Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. We're out of time. Professor Jeremy Ghez at HEC Paris. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.